Hey and welcome, I'm Hammeh and today I'm sharing an Overwatch opinion along with some great news, and let's see how they balance out. Now first things first, Double XP Weekend has been announced, the first in Overwatch's history, although this is potentially partially in response to feelings running a little high among the Overwatch community about how loot drops feel in the current Anniversary event and their fairness. First things first, I'll quickly share the Double XP Weekend details, then go into some more deep opinion and analysis of this loot box conundrum, the items in them, how we earn them, how it's working right now. Is it fair? Does it feel fair, most importantly, and whether those with angry feelings about this process are warranted to feel frustrated at Blizzard or not, maybe. There's kind of three questions here. Are people right or wrong to feel hard done by about duplicates in Anniversary loot boxes and dances being stored behind them? Have Blizzard messed this up, or is this just a system that could perhaps be tweaked a bit? And finally, how could this be fixed? This will be opinion with the usual analysis for me, a little bit different. I hope you enjoy. There are time codes in the description below if you want to skip to different pieces. Okay, let's talk Double XP and then loot. The good, the bad, and the ugly. First things first, the details of the Double XP Weekend. Now, as part of the thanks of the Overwatch Anniversary, all players who log in this weekend coming on PC, PlayStation 4, or Xbox are going to get Double XP. This applies to pretty much everything in game apart from the first win of the day bonus. So time spent in a match, earning medals, backfilling matches, winning them, completing consecutive matches, and of course, grouping up. Start time is Thursday, June the 8th at 5 PM Pacific. And end time is Monday, June the 12th at 11:59 Pacific too. Now, how this works out for other time zones, here's a nice graphic that Blizzard provided to show you. Bear in mind, of course, that the Anniversary event itself is going to be ending on Monday, June the 12th at this point in time. I would make sure by the morning of that day, wherever you are in the world, you would have got everything sorted and got all of your loot boxes bought and got everything that you wanted to get bought with credits bought as well. So this is a great time to group up with people, a great time to get on with those loot boxes. However, I was just making a big video about the topic of loot boxes and how fair they're feeling at the moment, and whether this was planned or not. There's no doubt that in the community right now, people are wondering how fair loot boxes actually are, and have got particularly concerned at the dance emotes. Time for us to go into that. Let's go. So what's the problem? Well, the Overwatch Anniversary event is probably going to end on June the 13th. That's next Tuesday. I'd buy what you want by the end of June 12th just to be sure. But with around a week to go, some people are getting a little bit irate. The main argument is frustration at what people perceive to be gating of content in a time-limited way, and perhaps worse odds in the loot crates through duplicates. Now this is leading people to go on the boards and similar, calling Blizzard money grabbing, not caring for the fans, and some other things as well. I'm going to share my opinions and thoughts on it all, taking a look also at what will keep Overwatch healthy as a game from all perspectives, both from Blizzard's and ours as fans and players, and then some ideas as to how things can improve in the future. Okay, so facts. With the Anniversary event, Blizzard introduced lots of nice things. 24 of them, in fact, if you're going with the dance emotes in this update, and the dance emotes are the things that people are getting most het up about. Now, along with their 11 skins, there's probably, I would say, a larger amount of more desirable items that people would want to get in this particular event than ever before. Now, of course, personal taste and similar apply. Not everyone will want every skin or item in an Overwatch event, but I figure most people will want as many of the dances as possible. So let's remember that before we continue. The cost of this event compared to others, and by cost I mean the total amount of credits that you would need to spend to buy all of the items, has gone up due to offering more nice things, as I said them before. If you take a look at it, it's 56,475 credits apparently to buy all of these, and this is up from maybe 36 or 37,000 credits for events like Lunar New Year and Winter Wonderland. Due to the rarity of the emotes, of course, here, and a dance emote for every character. So, what do I think about this? Let's break it down into two halves. Here's what I feel Blizzard shouldn't perhaps be criticised for here, and what may not be a problem depending on your perspective, then what definitely, to me anyway, the issues actually are. This isn't a wholesale defence of the current situation. I'll discuss what I think isn't fair to judge Blizzard on first. So, what shouldn't we have a go at Blizzard for here? Well, in my opinion, a few things. Remember, of course, for starters, this is cosmetic. We do not have to buy this stuff. We paid for the game, and we can earn some for free and safer pieces with the loot box system, and the arcade gives us a way of doing that. Blizzard are, of course, a business. They can be a customer-friendly business or not, of course, but they are a business nonetheless, and we'd probably rather, or I would, have this kind of way of supporting more content than an Overwatch 2 or an expansion pack that affected the game's core playability, the multiplayer. Now, Blizzard have learned or experienced this in the past. Take StarCraft Brood War, for example. Now, that expansion to StarCraft, when I was a young man, and I'm not a young man anymore, split the player base of that game, and it's also a common challenge in games today, run off other business models, season passes and similar. Take season pass models like Destiny, Call of Duty and things like that. These quite often shut people out of playlists for new maps and game modes that are introduced with the specific DLC packs they release if they don't have them. I've stopped playing many games because of this, and it generally hurts the active player base and competitive community sums, so we don't want that. Remember, of course, in Overwatch we do get free new maps, free new game modes during events, many of which stick around, the arcade, 1v1, 3v3 brawls, and lots of gameplay additional stuff that we don't actually have to pay anything for directly. Away from the season pass model, for cosmetic content, and remember that is what this is, there are other models that feel a bit more rough too. Take MOBA free to play with access fees, and then different crates. Now Smite crates I'm going to talk a bit about later. Smite, for example, you can pay in $30 to have access to all current and future heroes, and for a MOBA of course with a lot more heroes in the cast, these tend to balance it out with a horrible feeling loot box system for boxes, skins and cosmetics. Remember, of course, there is a cost and workflow to producing things, particularly these dance emotes that we're talking about. Now these are high production cost content to make in terms of man hours. The video you're watching here is the process in making a May highlight intro. This is the work of Dave Gibson, who works on the Blizzard animation team. He's at Poodle Time on Twitter, and I've linked to his page with the full video so you can take a look below. Now here it says that it takes 4 days to make one highlight intro for a person, and that's outside of then placing it into the game, all of the rigging of the model. This is just solely the animator working on it to animate it, taking 4 days. So I don't know how long a dance emote takes to make, but it will be a reasonable amount of time, bearing in mind that at BlizzCon 2016 on some of the art panels on stage there was footage shown of Soldier 76's dance that has only just come out. So some of this has been worked on for quite a long time. It's not that quick. Blizzard already actually outsourced some work as well. Remember that all of these animations and all of the work on the game isn't done in-house. Skins, for example. There's a company called Airborne Studio in Berlin that has worked with and on some skin and weapon models for Blizzard. If you pay to outsource something as a company, depending on what it is, it might cost the same, maybe a little bit more as having someone do it in-house within your company, but it gives you more flexibility that can help you in different ways. For example, you probably don't need one person at Blizzard creating dance emotes all year round or creating skins all year round, but you may need lots of people creating skins or additional help for a few weeks at a time before an event every few months. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that the odds of getting skins or the cost of skins or boxes or anything are justified by these costs. I don't know them, I don't know how it works. This is just all we can see publicly, and obviously Blizzard will be making profit on these, I'd imagine. What I'm trying to say is that this is skilled work that does take time to produce, and therefore you need to have some kind of return on it. And as a final thing, I actually personally, and I don't know about you, let me know how you feel in the comments, don't have a problem with the dancers being event specific. Now limited content and limited cosmetic content is something that a lot of games just do nowadays to a point. Now whether Blizzard should just make it directly purchasable without the box element, actually having to roll the boxes, just having money for skins like in other games is a huge topic for another video. Now personally I don't mind limited time based content that doesn't affect gameplay if it funds stuff that we can all have for free that makes our gameplay better. So if I don't think that these are problems, then what are the actual problems and why are people feeling like this? I think it's three things. The sheer volume of things in this particular event that people want, the duplicate system with crates and credits and how that works right now, and the return rate that we get from them. First things first, the volume. Now I think that the 24 dance emotes that are very popular, very highly desirable items feels unearnable without buying boxes to many people. As I've said, this event is around 56,000 credits total buy if you were to buy it all with credits, compared to the 31 for Halloween, 36 to 37 for Year of the Rooster and Uprising. For a £35 50 crate buy-in, if I was going to buy those crates in the UK, sometimes depending on the duplicates you can be lucky if you get 3,000 coins. Now of course 3,000 coins or credits is the price for one event skin. That's a brand new game for just one skin if the random number generation and the luck of the boxes doesn't give you a lot of say legendary credits or a lot of legendary duplicates that you can cash in for just 200 credits a time. Second thing, on top of that, it's the duplicates and the inflation. The chance of getting what you'd like as a player who's invested time or money into previous events does feel a little bit tough. Every time you roll a box, you're getting one guaranteed event item, and the more you've already actually invested time-wise or money-wise into getting items, it feels like the less you may be getting back on average without spending more money on boxes as you do so. If you wonder why I'm opening Uprising crates on the moon here, by the way, these are crates copied to the PTR, which obviously I'll never have the items from as they stay there. Bear in mind, I'm getting all of these duplicates before even opening any anniversary boxes. As for the return rate of currency, well, it's nice that Blizzard gave us this option. We asked for it and they could not have put it in, but they did, so we should be happy about that. However, it does feel kind of tough when you buy boxes in particular. As I've said, whether you're buying boxes or opening more after you've got a substantial collection, the fact that the rate of return feels as if it's diminishing as you go means that you're not being rewarded for the more that you invest in some ways, and that feels particularly unfair, particularly to people obviously on the niche case who have got a more complete collection or been playing Overwatch since the beginning. Now, I have to say at this point that there are systems that I feel are or were worse, and I'm going to come back to Smite here. I love the game for the record, but I hate the crate system personally. You pour money into crates to try and get all of the items. There aren't such things as duplicates in Smite and you don't get anything back, but once you've got an item, it's crossed off the list for a particular crate. So if you wanted to get everything in the game, you would have some kind of fixed huge cost, but when you get to that point, you know that from what you're buying from chests, you're going to be getting what you want. A chest has 5 items. If I already have 3 of those and I buy a couple of those, then I'm probably going to get the last 2 items from that chest. Now, that chest that only has 5 items that I can actually get from it might be more expensive, but that loot pool is smaller. You know, therefore, that because of the investment you've already made, you're going to get what you want a bit more easily. If a chest has got 200 items, but if I keep really buying through those chests, I'm going to get the things that I want eventually, even if I spend a lot. So there is that feeling of a fixed endpoint, even if what I don't like about it is that it's a lot of money and a long way away, and very often rare and desirable skins are put in a chest with a large pool of items, so you're going to be getting things that you don't really want. Now, the Blizzard system with the summer games, when it first introduced in 2016, started feeling a lot better than this, and at the time I praised it for feeling as such. But with every passing event with duplicates, then the RNG, the luck of what duplicates you get for credits, it makes this fixed endpoint actually feel further away for Blizzard with Overwatch boxes right now. So, have Blizzard messed up? Well, as I said, I don't fault them wanting to make money with events. I know that these things take time to make and they're skilled, as we've said, and funding things with pay to accessorize, and that's what this is. It's not pay to win, it's not pay to get more gameplay. It may help the game's health in the long term in a lot of different ways. Not having a new game released and splitting the competitive community, and making sure that we can access gameplay content like free maps, new modes, new things in the arcade, and have new things to keep Overwatch exciting, as well as all of the PvE events and things we've had in these events for months and hopefully years to come. Keeping the community together by not separating them out with a season pass or similar is important and good for the health of Overwatch as a game. As I've said, I don't even fault the dance emotes being in the event. However, there are 2 things that need sorting. The first one is this feeling of too many items for a time-locked event. One for every hero with these dance emotes of a very high perceived value has left people feeling frustrated. It's ironic that something that everyone was so happy to see has upset a few people, but people are passionate about this stuff, it's good that we care, and I'm sure it can be sorted. If people don't feel that they have a fair shot at access, I feel that's more of the problem than the volume. The second thing is the diminishing returns element. The more complete your original collection is outside of event items, it feels that the less you're getting for your money or box. Now, I'd need to do the stats on that. I'm not saying that's got a statistical basis of any kind, but that is a feeling right now that people are having, mentioned on forums and similar. So, how can this be changed for future? Well, a lot of people would love to see these dance emotes and high value items just all made available outside of events. I'll be honest, I don't think that's going to happen, but if that doesn't happen, then a few other things actually have to be sorted. The first of these is solving the duplication creep if events are being repeated. So, in terms of 2017 events, we've been teed up by various developer interviews that we're going to see iterations and changes of existing ones. So, Summer Games 2017 might have tweaks on Lucio Ball and new cosmetics. Jeff, in an interview, described this as perhaps for Junkenstein's Revenge at Halloween, being able to fight in a new area or room on top of the existing ones. If this happens, then there needs to be some way perhaps of separating the old cosmetics off from the new ones for the event, particularly if they introduce a similar amount of items each time. Otherwise, we're going to get people feeling that the pool is getting bigger and bigger, they're getting more and more duplicates, and this feeling of duplicates being cashed down for not enough credits is going to continue. Another thing that Blizzard could do is make more out of event permanent content. Now, we've had Officer Diva, Oni Genji recently for Heroes of the Storm promotions. Those are now available in normal loot boxes as the dev team promised. We've also had the Reaper Shrug, the Sombra and Orisa Sit emotes, and a few other bits and bobs with the Anniversary update. Don't forget the Reinhardt skins, of course, that came when Eichenwalder was released at Gamescom 2016. However, there haven't been loads of these. I would be surprised if we see loads of these in future, but some more could help with balancing this out, so people still feel that they can access content outside of events. Another thing Blizzard could do is perhaps release less items, as silly as it sounds, so that there's not so much of perceived value in one single event, allowing a fairer feeling or more time to try and earn them. This feels a little bit counterintuitive to me. Would we have felt happy if 12 emotes, for example, 12 of the dance emotes were in the anniversary event and another 12 were in a different event in future? I think it was really cool that we got all of the dance emotes in one go, but I can understand the flip side of the coin that people feel that they can't get them all or there's not enough time. The other thing Blizzard could have a look at is keeping the same amount of items in, but lowering the cost or rarities, or perhaps increasing the credits for event-only duplicates. Remember, for a normal legendary duplicate at the moment, we get 200 credits back, and you can buy one for 1,000 credits. Now, an event legendary duplicate, maybe because these are limited time, they could up the amount of credits you get if you get a duplicate of them. For example, when I unboxed my anniversary crates, I got 4 Oasis Symmetras in total. The additional 3 on top of the first one, I only got 600 credits for 3 legendary skin duplicates. Maybe if Blizzard increased it proportionally in terms of the amount you get back, say 600 credits, because you buy, of course, legendary event skins for 3,000 credits, it would give you a little bit more chance to buy stuff or some of those dance emotes or similar. So there you go. What do you think of the current event? How's your loot box luck or otherwise been? Has it felt better or worse for you than other events? Remember, this will probably end around June 12th. Bit of a different video for me today. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. If you like this vid, do throw a like, comment or share, sub if you'd like to see more, and check out all of my latest videos in the playlists here, including the latest Orisa interactions and voice lines as part of my Overwatch lore, interactions and voice lines series. Cheers for tuning in, I've been Hammeh, take it easy.